It wasn't her words, it was her reaction. Thomas, 78, had always been the gentle giant of his family. Sunday dinners were his favorite. Laughter at the table, his granddaughter Emily climbing into his lap like she always had. But last week something shifted. She paused before hugging him, then turned quickly to sit beside her mom instead. She didn't say anything, but her tiny nose wrinkled. Her eyes flicked toward him, just for a second, and that was enough. Thomas smiled, pretending not to notice, but inside something quietly cracked. You bathe, you clean, so why the smell? If you're over 60 and you've ever quietly wondered, why do I smell this way, even when I'm clean? You're not alone. This isn't about poor hygiene. It's not about forgetting to shower. In fact, most older adults are just as careful, if not more so, about staying clean. But the truth is, our bodies change in ways we aren't warned about. The skin releases different oils, sweat decreases, circulation shifts, and certain areas of the body begin to hold on to odor, even if you're bathing every day. And here's the part no one talks about. It's often just one small, forgotten spot that causes it all. In this video, we'll uncover what that spot is, why it matters, and how to gently wash it in a way that keeps you fresh, confident, and close to the people you love, without harsh chemicals or expensive sprays, because sometimes the smallest change can bring back the warmest moments. Story number 1, the hug that changed everything. Something was off, but she didn't say it out loud. Meet Walter, a man who did everything right. Walter, 76, wasn't the kind of man to let things go untidy. His morning routine was sacred. A warm shower, a clean white shirt, polished shoes, and the same crisp cologne he'd worn for 40 years. He'd been a bank manager once. Appearance and dignity were second nature. He looked forward to weekends, especially Sunday afternoons when his daughter would visit with his 5-year-old granddaughter, Ella. She used to run straight into his arms the moment the door opened. But lately, things felt different. A subtle shift and a moment that hurt. This time, when Ella arrived, she clung to her mom's hand. Walter bent down with a warm smile and open arms, but she hesitated. Then gently she turned her face away and whispered, "Can I sit over here today?" Walter's heart sank just a little. He tried not to show it. He didn't want to make her uncomfortable. Maybe she was tired, maybe shy. He kept telling himself it was nothing. But later, as he brought out the lemonade, he overheard her say something quietly to his daughter. "Mom, Grandpa smells funny." Just 5 words, but they echoed in his ears for hours. Confused, embarrassed, and determined to understand. That night, Walter sat alone in his recliner. He stared down at his hands. Clean, neatly trimmed nails. He sniffed the fabric of his shirt. Fresh. Laundry detergent, maybe a faint trace of soap. He couldn't understand it. He bathed every morning. He wore deodorant. He even kept mints in his pocket. So what went wrong? Was his granddaughter just imagining it? Or had something really changed? The turning point, a quiet search for answers. The next day, Walter turned to the one place he hadn't before, the internet. He typed, "Why do older people smell different?" And what he found surprised him. It wasn't about being dirty. It wasn't about not trying. It was about something deeper. A biological change in aging skin that most people didn't even know about. He read about a compound called 2-nonenal, about how sweat patterns shift after 60, how certain areas of the body hold on to these natural scents more than others. And more importantly, he found out it could be fixed, not with perfume, not with stronger soap, but by focusing on a specific area he had never thought twice about washing carefully. A small discovery that meant everything. That realization was the beginning of change, not just in how Walter cleaned, but in how he felt. It gave him back something he didn't even know he was starting to lose, his confidence in being close to the people he loved. And next Sunday, when Ella arrived, something beautiful happened. She smiled, ran up and hugged him like old times. No wrinkled nose, no hesitation, just warmth. Why it happens? The aging body changes, and so does its chemistry. It's not about being unclean. It's about being unaware. Many seniors, like Walter, bathe regularly. They follow hygiene routines they've used for decades. But still, the change happens. And the reason has very little to do with how often you wash and everything to do with how your body changes as you age. Let's gently uncover the truth. 1. Sweat glands. Slow down. But that's not always a good thing. After age 60, our sweat glands begin to work less actively. While that may sound like a relief, no more sticky shirts or sweat stains, it has a hidden cost. Sweat helps remove toxins from the body. It also keeps the skin surface clean and hydrated. When sweating slows down, toxins don't exit the way they used to. Instead, they accumulate silently in the skin, especially around areas where airflow is limited, like behind the ears, under the arms, or in skin folds. 2. A new skin oil forms, and it has a scent. As the skin ages, it produces a compound called 2-nonenal, a fatty acid byproduct that's mostly odorless in younger adults, but more concentrated and noticeable in older adults. This compound mixes with less sweat, drier skin, and less circulation, creating a scent that is distinctive. It's often described as musty, greasy, or stale, and sadly, many people can detect it even when the person doesn't notice it themselves. Why? Because your nose gets used to your own scent, but others, especially children, notice it right away. 3. Dry skin plus poor circulation, odor retention. Another factor is dry skin. Older skin tends to lose moisture more quickly. When the skin is dry and flaky, it traps natural oils and residue more easily. Now combine that with slower blood flow in areas like the back, neck, feet, and behind the ears, and you have the perfect storm. Less detox through sweat, more dead skin buildup, less oxygen reaching the surface, all of which allow odor-causing compounds to settle in and linger, no matter how fresh your clothes may be. Where it builds up, the forgotten zones. Here's what surprises most people. This scent isn't coming from your breath or your clothes. It's often hiding in the crease behind the ears, the back of the neck, the upper back and shoulder blades, the folds of the underarms, and even in the belly fold area for some people. These spots tend to get washed quickly, not thoroughly, and often skipped altogether in rushed showers. You didn't do anything wrong, but now you know the good news. This kind of age-related body odor is completely manageable once you understand what's causing it and where it hides. And in the next section, we'll walk you through exactly how to clean these forgotten spots with ease and confidence. No special soap, no harsh products, just a new habit that can make a big difference. The number one spot most seniors miss, it's not what you think, but it holds the smell. A hidden culprit behind a common problem. Most older adults are shocked to discover this. The most odor-prone part of the aging body isn't where you'd expect. It's not the feet, not the underarms, not even the private areas. The answer? Behind the ears, back of the neck, upper back folds, especially along the shoulder blades. These zones are small, often overlooked, and quietly responsible for a great deal of the subtle odor others may detect, even when you feel freshly bathed. Why these spots matter more than others. Sebaceous glands live here. These areas, behind the ears and upper back, are loaded with sebaceous oil glands. As we age, these glands don't slow down like sweat glands do. They continue to produce oil, but the composition of that oil changes with age, especially with the rise of 2-nonanol, the fatty compound that creates an aged scent. These oils cling to the skin in these regions and don't rinse away easily with water alone. These spots are often missed. Think about your shower routine. Most people focus on face on armpits, underwear area, feet, but how often do you gently scrub behind your ears with a washcloth? Reach across your shoulders to scrub the back of your neck or shoulder blades. Lift your arms and clean the fold just below them, toward the back. These spots are either skipped, lightly rinsed, or washed with just fingertips, and that's not enough to remove buildup oil and dead skin. How to clean these areas the right way. You don't need harsh products, scrubbing brushes, or medicated soap. You just need technique and consistency. Step 1. Use a soft, damp washcloth or exfoliating glove. Apply a gentle cleanser. Baby soap or moisturizing body wash is fine. Step 2. Reach behind the ears. Clean both behind and under the earlobe, where the crease meets the skull. This is one of the most oil-rich spots on the body. Step 3. Scrub the back of your neck. Use slow circular motions. This area builds up oil and odor, especially if you sweat lightly or wear collars. Step 4. Reach the upper back and shoulder blade area. This can be hard to reach. Use a long-handled sponge or ask for help if needed. Even cleaning 2 to 3 times a week thoroughly makes a big difference. The result? A noticeable shift in how others react when these areas are properly cleaned. That underlying scent fades, perfume or deodorant works better, clothes stay fresher, longer, and most importantly, you regain your confidence. It's not just about odor control, it's about reclaiming your closeness with others. The hugs, the sitting side by side, the quiet moments without discomfort or distance. How to clean it right. Simple daily fix. No harsh products, just smart habits. It's not about scrubbing hard, it's about washing. Smart, many seniors feel discouraged when others step back, open a window, or avoid hugs, even though they bathe regularly. But here's the truth. How you clean matters far more than how often you clean. And the good news is, with just a few daily tweaks, you can reclaim your sense of freshness and closeness. Let's walk through a gentle, effective method that works beautifully for aging skin. 1. Start with the right tools. Softness wins. Older skin is thinner, more sensitive, and prone to dryness. That means avoid harsh scrubbing brushes or loofahs. Instead, use a soft washcloth, a microfiber towel, or a gentle exfoliating sponge. These tools clean effectively without tearing the skin or causing irritation, and they help remove the oils and buildup where odor tends to hide. 2. Use a mild soap. Less is more. Skip the antibacterial or scented soaps. They can dry out or irritate your skin. Instead, go for unscented moisturizing body wash, baby soap, or glycerin-based cleansers. These gently lift oils from the skin without stripping away your natural barrier. A pea-sized amount on the washcloth is enough for the key areas. 3. Target the forgotten zones with care. Here's where your routine really counts. Behind the ears, reach back with your cloth and gently scrub behind and beneath each earlobe, especially the crease where the ear meets the head. This spot collects oil and dead skin. It's small but mighty when it comes to scent. Back of the neck, use slow circular motions and give this area extra attention, especially if you wear collared shirts, hats, or scarves. Underarm folds and side creases. Don't just swipe under your arms. Lift and clean the crease under and around the armpit, especially where skin folds inward. Upper back and shoulders. If you can reach, use a sponge or soft scrubber on a stick. Otherwise, ask a trusted loved one or even a caregiver to help. Just twice a week makes a major difference. 4. Dry gently but completely moist areas are breeding grounds for odor-causing bacteria. Pat dry with a clean towel, no rubbing. Focus on drying folds, underarms, ears, neck creases, lower back. In warm weather, consider a light dusting of non-talc body powder to stay fresh. 5. Moisturize mindfully. Hydrated skin smells better. Dry skin traps old oils, but hydrated skin breathes. Use a simple unscented body lotion or natural coconut oil on your neck, shoulders, and back daily. It helps maintain a healthy skin barrier and reduces the buildup of dead cells that cause odor. A clean you can feel, and others will feel. True freshness isn't about covering up. It's about reconnecting with your body in a way that feels kind, simple, and effective. When these gentle habits become part of your day, you'll smell fresher, you'll feel more comfortable in close contact, and your loved ones will notice the difference, not just in scent, but in how confidently you carry yourself. It's a quiet victory, but for many seniors, it changes everything. Story number 2, the quiet comeback. Evelyn, 81, smelled like herself again, and everyone noticed. Loneliness in plain sight. Evelyn Parker, 81, was once the life of every family dinner. Her grandchildren called her Nana Sparkle because of her laugh and the way she always wore bright scarves and earrings. But over the past year, something quietly shifted. She stopped attending birthday parties. She skipped church luncheons. She declined visits from her friends at the senior center. People noticed her absence, but what they didn't see was why. A hidden struggle. It wasn't illness that kept Evelyn away. It wasn't fatigue or pain. It was shame. She had started noticing strange reactions from her family, especially her daughter-in-law, who would open windows after Evelyn left the room. Her grandson once wrinkled his nose during a goodbye hug. No one said anything directly, but the message was clear. Something smelled off. Evelyn didn't understand. She bathed every morning. She used floral soap. She even switched laundry detergents. And still, the quiet reactions continued. A gentle truth shared by a friend. One afternoon, her oldest friend, Margaret, 85, lively and honest in the gentlest way, stopped by with tea. They talked, as always, about grandkids, health, and old TV shows. But Evelyn's eyes kept drifting toward the floor. Margaret noticed. She leaned in and said softly, "Evelyn, has anyone ever told you about the skin behind the ears?" Evelyn blinked. "What do you mean?" Margaret explained what she'd learned after going through something similar, about the non-enol compound that builds with age, about oil glands, about how even clean skin can trap a scent if we miss certain spots. She showed her how to use a warm washcloth, how to clean behind the ears, neck folds, and shoulder blades gently, just 3 times a week. No harsh soaps, no perfumes, just attention, just love. The reaction that changed everything that weekend. Evelyn went to her great-granddaughter's birthday party. She almost didn't, but something in her said, "Try again." When she walked in, her daughter smiled and hugged her, closely, fully. Her grandson didn't pull back during the hug. He whispered, "You smell like cookies and sunshine." Evelyn laughed, not because of the compliment, but because she felt like herself again. The shame melted. The fear vanished. Her confidence started to return, not in a dramatic way, but in quiet, beautiful ways. She stayed longer at dinner. She signed up for the church craft circle again. She let her granddaughter braid her hair while watching movies, final reflection. Evelyn didn't change everything. She didn't buy expensive products. She didn't do anything dramatic. She simply gave attention to the parts of herself that age had changed, and no one had taught her how to care for. That small act restored not just her scent, but her connection. And now she'll tell anyone who'll listen. Getting older doesn't mean fading away. Sometimes it just means learning how to care for yourself again. Have you ever wondered if this happened to you? A pause to reflect, not judge. Let's take a moment. Before we go further, I want to ask you something quietly and sincerely. Has someone ever stepped back during a hug? Have you ever noticed a loved one crack a window, lean away slightly, or shorten a visit, and you couldn't quite understand why? It might have been subtle, it might have stung, and maybe, just maybe, you told yourself, I must be imagining it. But what if you weren't? A gentle invitation to share this topic can feel sensitive, but that's why it matters. If you've ever had a moment like this, you're not alone. Comment below and tell us, have you ever experienced this? Did you wonder if something had changed, but didn't know what? You don't need to share every detail. Even a simple yes lets others know they're not the only one. And reading your comment might just help another senior feel seen for the first time in a long while. Join the circle. You're among friends here. If these small, caring tips are resonating with you, if you feel like this conversation is one nobody's ever had with you before, please click the like button. It tells YouTube to show this video to someone else who may need it. Subscribe if you'd like more videos like this. Gentle advice, quiet solutions, and empowering ideas for older adults. And don't forget to tap the bell so you never miss a story that could restore your confidence and connection. You deserve to feel close again, and we're here to walk with you. It's not just about smelling better. It's about feeling close again. A simple truth we often overlook. Let's pause for a moment. This video wasn't really just about odor. It wasn't about soap or scrubbing or even age. It was about something deeper, something we all crave no matter how many birthdays we've had: closeness, warmth, the comfort of being near the people we love. Because the truth is, you deserve hugs that last. You deserve rooms that feel welcoming. You deserve to sit beside someone without wondering if they're stepping back. Small habits, big difference. We've talked about biology, about oil glands and missed spots, and simple cleaning methods. But what we're really restoring is dignity. What we're really protecting is connection. These small daily acts aren't just about hygiene. They are quiet gifts you give yourself and your loved ones. The freedom to laugh without self-consciousness, the joy of letting your grandchild rest their head on your shoulder, the relief of knowing nothing is standing between you and closeness. You're not alone, and you're not too late. If you've ever felt embarrassed or uncertain, let today be the day that changes. Start with one gentle habit. Start with a warm washcloth. Start with awareness, because awareness is the first step to peace. You are not fading away. You are still you, and you are still deeply loved. Share this with someone you love. If this video touched something in your heart, please share it with someone you care about. A friend, a parent, a neighbor, someone who might also be quietly wondering why people pull away. Let's open the window to understanding, not embarrassment. Let's lead with dignity, with grace, and with love. And if you haven't yet, tap subscribe to join this growing circle of thoughtful, wise souls just like you, who believe aging should bring us closer, not apart. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay kind.